Oh, kitty. I know, little friend. Okay, my people. Remember I said, if you see me eating any food, all these videos are made on the same day on Saturday. Just finished eating some lasagna, so I probably got stuff in my teeth to see. I'm shy. I want you guys to see my teeth, so I'm going to hide like this and talk like this off the camera. So, excuse me. We studied the story of David and Joshua and Jonathan and Saul and trying to see how does God relate and speak to his people? How does he relate to humanity? Is he a God that stands off? Is he a God that doesn't care or participate? Or is he someone that just loves humanity and despite all we've done to him, how we've let him down, he still manages to take time to come to help us and to listen to us and to care for us and to answer us when he wants to and to keep silent when he wants to. He's a God that, oh, I'm watching like a pine on the top of the house blowing the wind. Looks like if it's like a little creature climbing on top of the roof. It's so funny up there. I don't know if you can see it now. I'm gonna see from that end. I'm watching this over here. It's like I'm gonna show you guys to see this to the mesh. It's up there. This one here, it was blowing the wind just now, and it kept moving like it was moving like a snake on top. It's like, what is that thing blowing the wind? It's like literally hopping from one like peel to the other. But you know, just in case, because I tell you, I don't like no snake. I don't like snakes in this. I'm always watching for them. It's like, they can always sneak into the bottom somewhere here and there. You know, gotta watch for them, man. You know, snakes in the grass, everything. They can hide anywhere. All that stuff is a rip too. Poor thing. If anything, everything lasts forever. I guess I got this one. I was trying to move this thing in this grill. I got it ripped. My bad. But let's get back to God's word. We want to finish 2 Samuel to get to Timothy and other stuff because there's a lot of information here. And I want to see what is it we can learn from David's interaction, David's time with God that we can gather, including why God bears so long with him and why God also pronounced a judgment upon him from other things and yet loves him so well. And we all seem to remember David as the first real king of Israel, not as opposed to Saul, which was kind of like a letdown in many ways. But he's also like all of us sometimes. We think we can do it. We trust in ourselves much and we don't rely upon God, and we fabricate and let down, and we pay the price. Let's see why David loved God so much. It's getting nippy out here, so we're going to do this and see how much I can get out here and wrap it up at some point. But we're going to see this later on during the week. I'm going to try to put one for Sunday and then Monday and so on and so on. Just to kind of give some message because they're long. Some of them are about an hour and 20, 30 minutes. It's like, whoa, it's heavy. I'm like, 20, 30 minutes is great, but it's a lot. Some of them you can break up into more, but some people said, give me the full thing. I can listen to it play in the background, listen to this here and there. How God would allow it to be used by his mercies. If you even took the time to listen to it and to hear my little voice here and there, God bless. Any way I can do to help the cause, I'll try. So please forgive us if we say things wrong, if we mess up anything, or if we may have like, oh, shouldn't do that. But we're just trying our best to seek and spread God's word and to get the message out one way or the other. Okay? So we're not giving up. Let's hear about David. David's song of thanks for deliverance, chapter 22 of 2 Samuel. David's song of thanks for deliverance from the brothers and family members of Goliath and other people on the Philistines who just wanted to destroy him. And from the bad actions of those within his own home and household and family, supposedly. Oh, the wars and battles from the actions we do. We have to pay the consequences. Good and bad. Let's see. Chapter 22 of Samuel, 2 Samuel. David's song of thanks and deliverance. Why he loves God so much. What's he thankful for?
2 Samuel 22. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies, and out of the hand of Saul. And he said, The Lord is my rock and my fortress, and my deliverer. The God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my high tower, and my refuge, my Saviour. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried to my God, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. And he sent out arrows, and scattered them, lightning, and discomfited them. And the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world were discovered, at the rebuking of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity. But the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes, I did not depart from them. I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful, and with the upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself unsavory. And the afflicted people thou wilt save, but thine eyes are upon the haughty, that thou mayest bring them down. For thou art my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord will lighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, by my God have I leaped over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all them that trust in him. For who is God save the Lord? And who is a rock save our God? God is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies, and destroyed them, and turned not again until I had consumed them. And I have consumed them and wounded them, that they could not arise. Yea, they are fallen under my feet. But thou hast girded me with strength to battle. Them that rose up against me hast thou subdued under me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They looked, but there was none to save, even unto the Lord. But he answered them not. Then did I beat them as small as the dust of the earth. I did stamp them as the mire of the street,
Enemies of God.
and did spread them abroad. Thou also hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen. A people which I knew not shall serve me. Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me. Strangers shall fade away, and they shall be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of the rock of my salvation. It is God that avengeth me, and that bringeth down the people unto me, and that bringeth me forth from mine enemies. Thou also hast lifted me up on high above them that rose up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and I will sing praises unto thy name. He is the tower of salvation for his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed. unto David,
Wow.
and to his seed forevermore.
Beautiful. That's what you call a tribute to God. Beautiful, beautiful. Continue to read along with us. God bless. That's love right there.
2 Samuel 23. Now these be the last words of David. And David the son of Jesse said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel, said, The Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. The God of Israel said, The rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God. And he shall be as the light of the morning, when the sun riseth, even a morning without clouds, as the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. Although my house be not so with God, yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things and sure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire, although he make it not to grow. But the sons of Belial shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron, and the staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place.
Belial.
These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite, that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lift up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time.
Wow.
And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo the Ahohite, one of the 3 mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose, and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. And after him was Shammah the son of Agi, the Harahite.
Amen.
And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground, and defended it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great victory. And 3 of the 30 chief went down, and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in an hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David.
Wow.
Nevertheless he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, Be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men.
Wow.
And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among 3. And he lifted up his spear against 300, and slew them, and had the name among 3. Was he not most honorable of 3? Therefore he was their captain, howbeit he attained not unto the first 3. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man. And the Egyptian had a spear in his hand. But he went down to him with a staff, and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and slew him with his own spear. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among 3 mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first 3. And David set him over his guard. Asahel the brother of Joab was one of the 30, Elhanan the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shammah the Harodite, Elika the Harodite, Helez the Paltite, Ira the son of Ikesh the Tekoite, Abiezer the Anethathite, Mebunai the Hushathite, Zalman the Ahohite, Maharai the Netophathite, Heleb the son of Baanah, a Netophathite, Ittai the son of Ribai, out of Gibeah of the children of Benjamin, Benaiah the Perathonite, Hiddai of the brooks of Gaash, Abialbon the Arbathite, Asmaveth the Bahumite, Eliabah the Shaalbanite, of the sons of Jashan, Jonathan, Shammah the Hararite, Ahiam the son of Sharah the Hararite, Eliphalet the son of Ahasbai, the son of the Maakathite, Eliam the son of Ahithophel the Gelonite, Hezrai the Carmelite, Parai the Arbite, Igal the son of Nathan of Zobah, Bani the Gadite, Zelek the Ammonite, Naharai the Barathite, Armah-bearer to Joab the son of Zeruiah, Ira and Ithrite, Gareb and Ithrite, Uriah the Hittite, 37 in all.
I know what to name my next child. Listen to these names.
Next child.
Listen to these names.
You're planning to have a child?
Listen to these names. We'll answer that one day. Adoption, listen. Listen to his names. You ever heard a joke gone bad? Listen to his names. You know, this is like a Hall of Fame, Guinness Book of World Records, a Guinness World Book of Records, you know, whatever you call it. Think of it. Listen to these people. Men. Men of war. Men. What are they fighting for? You know, besides, if you're a good man, they always say it's a good woman, right? What are they fighting for? To go 3 men break through the host just to get the king some water to drink because he's thirsty. How many people would leave what they're doing to go fight to help somebody else or to go to fight on behalf of their country? We call it nationalism and patriotism and patriotism in many regards. The children of Israel who had a very unique position. The reason why I say that is because we're going to go into the New Testament to see what has happened to them, because from being like this, of fighting valiantly from the Lord with swords and spears, they then later on become conquered and subdued and occupied. Not because God wasn't able to keep them, but because they chose to have other kings other than God. Remember when they had a choice between Jesus and Barabbas? Who did they ask for? Shows the mentality. Many times God warned them. Many times God warned us. Many times God told us, stay on the path, do the right thing. Stay in the path. Don't look to the left or the right. Straight ahead. Build on the rock. It shows otherwise. We were like prodigals. How many times God told us? And yet, you know, these men, they mention them, and the women too. But women, anything they put women as many soldiers in war like back then. But we did hear about Deborah and other people who took part in, like with Gideon in those times. The judges. So women have an important role to play as well. And you say to yourself, where are these men today? Sleeping in the grave? We'll meet them one day. One slew 800 people. These are other lives, flesh and blood, and hearts are beating and lungs are working. But it's a time of war. You mean we're battling against our own flesh and blood, spilling blood to save other blood in this human conflict? What a legacy. What has humanity done? What have we been through? All of this from a time of being created in Adam and Eve's time of perfect longevity in life and perfect bodies, perfect being. Everything was perfect. We made a choice. And that choice has cost us the lives of billions over time. We're dying. All of us are dying. Yet we still fly high up in the sky. Yet we look around. I mean, think about it, right? Let me show you a little bit, borrow your camera so I can look up here. How fly high? Where's that plane up there? You can see it? Is it? Yeah, wait, am I missing it? Is it? Where is it? Is it on the side there? I can't see it. It's under the umbrella. Let me see 1 second. Yeah. Let me show you. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So high here we see it. What about the Wright brothers and those who had the flight and thing before us? Look at us here. We're making a video out here. See us? We're cold now because it's cold sitting out here in the back. The sun is going down. Another Sabbath day. And the day when the video is posted later on in the week, but the sun is going down, and yet it's nice and calm up here. Love is when the clouds are like nice and like cumulus. Like, is it cumulus when it's like bubbly and like stuff like breaking up like that? But But usually it's like this one, it's like cold. You see it. And it's not that cold right now in Florida. Some parts of the states might be. Because I heard there's a cold front moving in. The water, I haven't turned it on yet today. It's kind of green and teal. I had to put some stuff in it. After the last storm of Hurricane Milton, it's just, I had the water drain out, I drain it back in, all that sort of stuff. So I'm doing little things here to kind of keep it back together, but not, just want to share a little bit of stuff, kind of give you guys a little chance to take a little break. Would you love to be at peace like this? They sure know how to make it look easy. Because she breathes. Right, kitty? Kitty? Precious. You say to yourself, how many of us would do all these things? Got the food finished over here in the videos beside. We do all this to save others. I got my hoodie for myself because I'm going to be cold. So I'm like this. I'm like this and I can come here. It's cold now. So we're going to wrap up this part and then I'm going to try to get you a quick bit of Second Timothy, First and Second Timothy. Because I want to get to that part. Even if for the rest of the week you guys can watch it. But just saying, God has been with us since the beginning and He's there. He's there. And these are men of mighty men. And, sometimes you can let us go to ahead. You hear about the 300, those people back in the time. I don't know, I saw like a Roman story of the 300. They were fighting valiantly to let the people know that no one was a god on earth. And the story ends, I think it's called the Mighty 300 or something like that. I don't know what it was, the movie that's there. Where they fight, and look kind of like Roman soldiers or Grecian or, I don't know what they were, kind of like Alexander the Great. All these great names, all these soldiers that came before us. Attila the Hun, all these people that came up there, all the legacy. Where are they today? And how did we attain to this peace and stability, knowing that the devil is in our realm, causing us death and destruction? He's in our realm and we're managing to live and survive this, our time, even when death and destruction are around us every time. How we managed to make it to this point in time still, despite the world wars and wars. I wasn't there in the wars. I wasn't there in the world wars. And all the veterans and those who've been there in the uniform force and those who've been there, women and men who took part in trying to protect and fight for what was right. That's how I heard the nursing industry took off also, from them having to care for the wounded soldiers and stuff that came back. And people started loving seeing how they were cared for and loving the nurses like that. And it's like, wow. So I made a shirt also like that said, I'm easily distracted by nurses. It's kind of like a little tribute, a little something thanking them. And RTs, respiratory therapists, and those before, Didn't know called oxygen men, oxygen women, oxygen men, women who are. There's so many things we've learned and become now because of what the past has been. And yet we have the same thing going on right now. And they say records are made to be broken, right? So all these men who have done these wonderful deeds, do you see how his names, Hararite and Shabarite and Haharite, and you'd be like, why do you think God mentions them in the Bible? Why do you think He puts them there? Is it because we need to trace back our lineage? So Uriah was a Hittite. That's the same Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, that was slain, unfortunately, for what he did not deserve to be done, have done to him. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of legacy, a lot of history in this. So it doesn't end here. David, even after doing all this stuff and getting older, still said, I want to do something good for God. I want to do something good. And God said, nah, you're not to do something. And he said, no, I want to do this. Sometimes it's like, when you get older, it's like, let me see, what have I amassed? What have I accomplished in my life? What have I done? Kind of like you say, it's like, what do they call it? Some people say it's like midlife crisis. No, I think he's older than that now. Maybe he'll tell us. But that was his last. I think he tells us at the end of it. When is that? But this is not the end of it. Because there's also the First and Second Kings and Chronicles that tells you more detailed parts of the story. But it's like, what have he done? We're going to try to get to those too as God spares our lives and keeps us going so we can get more information out there. Because we want to get the whole Bible out there. That's stopping. David did something God said don't do. I wonder if this is because people are so used to doing it and giving themselves credit. It's called numbering the people. Getting a number. For some reason God don't want them to do that. And they tried to do it before also. And got the same result. God don't want you to number them because He wants you to have to know that you didn't win because of how much you slayed and killed and destroyed, or how much you accomplished, what you have in your life, your big car, your big house, and your big land, and all that stuff, your 20 pools and your $40 million house. And somebody told me somebody got recently a $40-something million mortgage on a house. Like, what kind of house is that? Made out of gold? Why people waste such money and waste such things? They have things. People are starving and dying right here for $1 or for $2. Some money to pay their rent and their bills. People are buying $100,000, $200,000 mortgages. No, not thousands. $40 million mortgage. A house will look maybe just like that. Is it worth it? How people gonna waste money and burn money like that? How the banks gonna let people finance money like that? Why the banks didn't permit that to happen? Not like I'm building a corporation, but that house? Seriously? What is that house made up of? And it's just gonna burn, but these people have money to burn. While some have a lot, some don't have any. And it's like, if we had it, would you do the same? I would not manage money like that. I would do a lot differently. Like, it's not my money to burn. All the money we have, everything we have is God. So why are we gonna take it and waste like that? But going back to this, just the same as all the kingdoms came before us and all the different royalties and homes and big home lavish palaces and marble and granite, all this different stuff and all these stones and this. Look at the pyramids. Are the pharaohs inhabiting them today? Look at all these massive places we like to go take trips and tourist attractions to. Look at all these places, all the 7 wonders of the world, 8th wonders, all these different things, all these different things. You hear the sound of it now? All the clanker and kind of stones being chipped and engraved, all these things people did before, all this they've done. Not saying it's not important. I'm saying it's very important. You see what humanity can do back then. What are we doing now? Look at some of these structures and bridges we've seen some of these states and countries. Whoa, to join different places together. A bridge is a magnificent structure and it's very symbolic. What have we achieved in our time? What can we achieve? Look at the planes, how high they fly, how fast they go, and the bombs and the weaponry we have. Humanity can do so much good, so much wonderful things, and yet they can do so much bad at the same time. And yet, amidst this all, God is right there in the midst of us. I'm coming because the wind is blowing in my head, and see, I have no hair in my head right now. It's chilly, so I'm wearing my hoodie still. And I didn't wear hoodies as much until I finally came here and started designing them. Now I'm like, I like it because it's actually comfy. It's like nice and fleece and nice soft in there. Well, you're watching it, the summer happen to be over, but not now. No, it's a nice soft. It's polyester and cotton. But I'm always talking about, God will punish me because I'm talking about stuff about my store stuff. Can't help it. Right? He helped me. He gave the material. So, but I'll focus on this. We're gonna wrap it up with the plague part. What happened to David and numbering the people when he was not supposed to in 2 Samuel chapter 24. Guys, he had to learn a lesson still. God has a reason why he's very specific about things. What did he do?
2 Samuel 24. And again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, Go, number Israel and Judah. For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. And Joab said unto the king, Now the Lord thy God add unto the people, how many soever they be, 100-fold, and that the eyes of my lord the king may see it. But why doth my lord the king delight in this thing? Notwithstanding the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the host. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. And they passed over Jordan, and pitched in Aroer, on the right side of the city that lieth in the midst of the river of Gad, and toward Jazer. Then they came to Gilead, and to the land of Tatim Hoshai, and they came to Dan Jaan, and about to Zidon, and came to the stronghold of Tyre, and to all the cities of the Hivites and of the Canaanites. And they went out to the south of Judah, even to Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days.
Wow.
And Joab
9 months.
gave up the sum of the number of the people unto the king. And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000 men.
Now I double up, triple up.
And David's heart smote him after that he had numbered the people. And David said unto the Lord, I have sinned greatly in that I have done. And now I beseech thee, O Lord, take away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. For when David was up in the morning, the word of the Lord came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say unto David, Thus saith the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David and told him, and said unto him, Shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in thy land? Or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue thee? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land? Now advise, and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me.
Oh boy.
And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man. So the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel, from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men.
Ay, ay, ay.
And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed the people, It is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing place of Araunah the Jebusite. And David spake unto the Lord when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me, and against my father's house. And Gad came that day to David, and said unto him, Go up, rear an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And David, according to the saying of Gad, went up as the Lord commanded. And Araunah looked, and saw the king and his servants coming on toward him. And Araunah went out, and bowed himself before the king on his face upon the ground. And Araunah said, Wherefore is my lord the king come to his servant? And David said, To buy the threshing floor of thee, to build an altar unto the Lord, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Araunah said unto David, Let my lord the king take and offer up what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be oxen for burnt sacrifice, and threshing instruments, and other instruments of the oxen for wood. All these things did Araunah as a king give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, The Lord thy God accept thee. And the king said unto Araunah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel.
That was a story that's where Ellen G. White will come into play. It's like, why?
The first book of Kings, chapter 1.
Not yet. That's going to be for future times. Why did David do that? Why was that permitted to happen? And all these people that died, were they innocent themselves? The 70,000? Wow. Remember, when he numbered the people, that doesn't include the women and children. I had at least 2 kids and at least, one person, one female, to be like that. So you're looking at millions. Why did he, in my account, right? My estimation. Why did he do that? And then you saw interesting. So they went to the field of the person where the angel, he could see the angel. The pestilence used to mean disease, but it also means a plague. Something happened to them. When God said stop to the angel, David was permitted to see where the angel stopped in the land when he was ready to slay this person here, what's it, Araunah? Of Araunah, what's her name? Araunah, Araunah. He stopped right above him, so he's gonna slay him. So this person is there like wondering, probably just living life as normal, not knowing what's happening, and the angel is ready to slay possibly him. Could you imagine that? You cannot see it, but there's something happening around us. Can we see angels around us? Can we see them going to different realms and stuff, back and forth? They can take our lives at any instant. God can permit it, yet he does not permit us to lose our lives like that. But he can permit it to happen at different times and points in history. Is he a wicked God to make that happen? Or are you alive now? Am I alive? Why did God permit it to happen then and not now? It's okay to ask questions and to see. But we're not to ask it with a thing in our minds or our hearts where it says like, next corner, it's like God is just wicked. No. Not to do that. We are the created. We're not to ask, excuse me, I see a mosquito here. We're not to ask the creator why he does such and such. We're to find out and to read and to learn more. Sometimes he leaves it there. He didn't give us a reason why, but he did tell them don't number the people. That was a told him back then. And he came to give him, say, I give you three options. Let you be pursued and say embarrassed for your enemies, right? Or let you be, oh man. He said, I give you three options. Three things. Choose one of them. Choose one of them. Wow, wow, wow. Shall 7 years of famine happen unto you? Or will you flee for 3 months hiding from your enemies? Running from your enemies? Or will you have a plague of, say, something happened to you? Death, like the plague of the first one of Egypt, like that, a plague happened to you for 3 days. Within that time, 70,000 people died. And in that time, there's only so many people there. And you notice that. Wow. There's a lot of lessons we have to learn in this Bible and this work. Why God permits things to happen the way He does. And Ellen G. White still goes over stuff like that. You look in her book, for instance, she goes with 2 Samuel, like this is kings and stuff, prophets, Ellen G. White's writings, old phone number back in the days. Talks about David and the judges and the kingdom of David, divided kingdom, all this stuff, yeah. Did he get the temple, Elisha and stuff, Naaman. We got to get into these one day. They soon, and the one about the unseen watcher and Daniel. Watch what Daniel did. We read about that in the other books we had there. This is prophets and kings. Yeah. Nehemiah, Ezra. A lot of stuff here. Isaiah, Daniel, and Kings. So this is 2 Kings. Last king of Judah. All that stuff there, approaching doom, Jeremiah, the book of the law. A lot of stuff here was written in. And it's like, wow, 2 Chronicles, 2 King. The ambassadors from Babylon, Hezekiah, one of the kings there, qualifies Chronicles. Let me see if we can find something about David. 2 Kings. We're doing 2 Samuel. Book of Ecclesiastes. Is 2 Samuel in here? This one doesn't go with 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel being the one prophets and preachers and prophets. This one gives another detail about David also. The other book is inside. So I'm just saying it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff we won't know right away, and we need extra answers from. God sometimes does things or has things happen and then gives us and the revelation, the information of it, like the deciphering of the prophecy. What does it mean later on? He will give us the answer in due time. We'll wait upon Him, okay? God bless you again, and thank you for taking time to read with us 1st and 2nd Samuel. And I pray we should get to the other parts and get to share more of these moments in the Bible and learn to see what a legacy humanity has. We've seen what happened to the past. We hear about stories in our storybooks in school about social studies and all the different things and all these archaeologies and great feats and colonialism and all these things and all these different stuff, capitalism, communism, all this different stuff and acquisitions and land acquisitions and all this stuff. Should we not include the Bible, the biblical account of these things as well? Should we not include and see how God has done things and how He has led humanity to where it is right now in present time? We are a product of our past. We need to know what happened. There's nothing new under the sun. So where did we come from? Where are we heading? By God's mercy, we'll find out. So thank you. We'll catch up. Thank you. Wow.